If you rely on CPP or OAS to pay your bills, stop and listen carefully. March 2026. Deposit timing could directly impact when your money arrives, and not every senior will be paid on the same day. This is not a drill. This is your official payment alert for March 2026. And if you miss critical banking deadlines or fail to verify your deposit information, you could face delays that affect your rent, your prescriptions, and your monthly budget. The Canada Pension Plan and Old Age Security payments scheduled for March 2026 represent over $1.7 billion in combined benefits, reaching approximately 7 million Canadian seniors. And the exact day your money lands in your account depends on factors many retirees do not fully understand. Some of you will see funds deposited as early as March 26th. Others may not receive payment until March 28th or later if you are waiting for a mailed check. Direct deposit recipients will have access to funds first. Check recipients will experience processing delays. Seniors who recently changed their banking information may face holds or verification periods. And anyone receiving guaranteed income supplement payments must understand that March 2026 also triggers recalculation reviews that could affect your total monthly amount without warning. The official Service Canada payment date for both CPP and OAS in March 2026 is March 27th. That is a Friday. But the reality of when you can actually access and spend that money is more complex than a single date on a government calendar. Banks process deposits differently. Direct deposit transactions typically post to accounts one business day before the official payment date, meaning many seniors will see their March CPP and OAS payments available on Thursday, March 26th. However, this early availability is not guaranteed by Service Canada. It is a courtesy provided by financial institutions based on their internal processing schedules. If your bank does not participate in early posting, your funds will appear exactly on March 27th. Mailed checks are issued by Service Canada on the official payment date, but Canada Post delivery timelines mean you may not physically receive your check until March 30th or even April 1st, depending on your postal zone and current mail volume. This creates a 4 to 5 day gap between when direct deposit recipients access their money and when check recipients can deposit and clear their funds. Understanding who gets paid first requires examining the mechanics of government payment distribution. Service Canada processes CPP and OAS payments through the Receiver General for Canada, which transmits electronic funds directly to financial institutions 3 business days before the official payment date. Your bank receives the payment file on approximately March 24th. The funds are held in a pending status until the release date of March 27th. Some banks, particularly credit unions and online banks, release these funds immediately upon receipt, which is why you may see the deposit on March 26th. Traditional chartered banks typically wait until the official date. This means seniors banking with Tangerine, EQ Bank, Simply Financial, or certain credit unions often see payments 24 hours earlier than those with TD, RBC, Scotiabank, BMO, or CIBC. This is not preferential treatment. It is simply a difference in institutional processing protocols. Let us examine 5 detailed scenarios that represent the financial reality facing Canadian seniors in March 2026. The first scenario involves a 68-year-old retiree in Ontario receiving both maximum CPP and full OAS via direct deposit to a major chartered bank. This individual has not changed banking information in 3 years and has no tax arrears or benefit overpayments. This senior should expect to see combined deposits totaling approximately $1,740 on the morning of March 27th. The CPP portion of roughly $790 and the OAS portion of approximately $750 will appear as 2 separate transactions. If this senior does not see both deposits by noon on March 27th, they should immediately check their My Service Canada account online to confirm there are no holds, no address verification requirements, and no outstanding correspondence from Service Canada that could trigger a payment suspension. The second scenario involves a 72-year-old widow in British Columbia receiving CPP survivor benefits, OAS, and guaranteed income supplement. Her total monthly income is under $20,000 annually, which qualifies her for maximum GIS. Her combined payment in March 2026 should reach approximately $2,100 when all three benefits are included. However, GIS is income tested and recalculated every July based on the previous year's tax return. If this senior did not file her 2025 tax return by the April 2026 deadline, her GIS payment could be suspended starting in July 2026, even though her March payment will arrive normally. Additionally, if she had any unreported income in 2025, such as RRSP withdrawals or part-time employment, her GIS could be retroactively reduced, and Service Canada will recover overpayments by deducting amounts from future monthly benefits. This senior must verify on My Service Canada account that her tax filing status shows as current and that no recalculation notices have been issued. The third scenario addresses a 65-year-old retiree in Alberta who changed banks in February 2026 after switching from a traditional bank to an online institution. He updated his direct deposit information through My Service Canada account on February 10th. Service Canada requires up to 30 days to process direct deposit changes, and there is no guarantee the update will take effect for the March 27th payment. If the banking change was not processed in time, Service Canada will attempt to deposit funds to the old account. If that account is closed, the payment will be rejected by the bank and returned to the Receiver General. Service Canada will then issue a manual check to the address on file, which could take an additional 10 to 15 business days. This senior should have received a confirmation letter or email from Service Canada confirming the direct deposit update. If no confirmation arrived by March 1st, he should assume the March payment will still go to the old account or be converted to a check. He must contact Service Canada immediately at 1-800-2779-914 to verify payment routing. The fourth scenario involves a 75-year-old Canadian citizen living in Portugal who receives OAS and CPP. Non-resident Canadians are subject to different payment rules. OAS is only payable outside Canada if the recipient lived in Canada for at least 20 years after age 18. CPP has no residency requirement. However, both payments are subject to a 25% non-resident withholding tax unless a tax treaty exists. Portugal has a tax treaty with Canada, so this senior may be exempt from withholding, but they must have filed the necessary forms with Service Canada. Additionally, international direct deposits can take 3 to 5 additional business days depending on the receiving country's banking system. This senior should expect funds to arrive between March 28th and April 2nd. If payment does not arrive by April 7th, they should contact Service Canada International at 1-800-277-9914 extension 2555. The fifth scenario involves a 64-year-old who applied for CPP retirement benefits in January 2026, with a requested start date of March 2026. First-time CPP payments are processed separately from ongoing monthly payments and often experience delays. Service Canada states that CPP applications are processed within 120 days, but initial payments can take longer due to verification requirements. This individual should not expect their first CPP payment on March 27th. It is more realistic to anticipate a first payment in late April or early May 2026. And that payment will include retroactive amounts back to March. New applicants should monitor their My Service Canada account for an approval notice and a payment calculation statement. If no communication is received by March 15th, they should contact Service Canada to request a status update. Now let us examine the financial risks and consequences associated with March 2026 payment timing. Missing a payment or experiencing a delay can trigger a cascade of financial problems for seniors living on fixed incomes. If your rent or mortgage payment is due on the 1st of the month and your CPP and OAS do not arrive until March 28th, due to a processing error, you may face late fees or insufficient fund charges from your bank. Prescription medications that are not covered by provincial drug plans may go unpurchased if funds are not available when expected. Utility bills with due dates in late March may incur disconnection notices. The financial margin for error is zero for many Canadian seniors. This is why verification before the payment date is critical. Clawbacks represent another significant risk. OAS is subject to the OAS recovery tax, which begins when your net income exceeds $90,056 in 2026. For every dollar of income above this threshold, you must repay 15 cents of your OAS. If your 2025 income exceeded this amount and you did not inform Service Canada, the Canada Revenue Agency will notify Service Canada after assessing your 2025 tax return, and recovery will begin automatically by reducing your monthly OAS payment. This reduction could start as early as July 2026. Seniors who took large RRSP withdrawals in 2025, sold property, or had significant investment income should anticipate clawback and plan accordingly. Overpayment recovery is another risk many seniors do not understand. If Service Canada determines you were paid CPP or OAS benefits you were not entitled to receive, they will issue a demand for repayment. This can occur if you failed to report a change in circumstances such as moving outside Canada, getting married, or a spouse passing away. Service Canada will recover overpayments by deducting 50% of your monthly CPP or OAS payment until the debt is cleared. If you owe $2,000, your monthly benefit could be reduced by several $100s for months. This is not negotiable. The only option is to repay voluntarily in a lump sum or accept the automatic deduction. GIS recalculation risks are particularly dangerous for low-income seniors. GIS is recalculated every year based on your tax return. If you do not file your taxes by April 30th, your GIS will be suspended starting in July. If your income increased in 2025, your GIS will be reduced in July 2026. If you received income that was not reported, such as cash income or foreign pension income, Service Canada can retroactively adjust your GIS for previous years and demand repayment. Seniors receiving GIS must treat tax filing as a mandatory financial task, not optional. Tax implications also affect how much money you actually keep. CPP and OAS are taxable income. Federal and provincial income tax is not automatically deducted unless you request it. Many seniors are shocked when they owe taxes in April because they did not have deductions withheld from their monthly benefits. You can request voluntary tax deductions by completing Form ISP 3520 and submitting it to Service Canada. This ensures you do not face a large tax bill and allows for more accurate monthly budgeting. Now let us discuss the immediate action plan every senior must execute before March 27th. Step 1 is to log into your My Service Canada account immediately. If you do not have an account, create one today using your social insurance number and access code from a previous tax return. Once logged in, verify that your direct deposit information is accurate and current. Check that your mailing address is correct. Review your payment history to confirm there are no holds, no outstanding correspondence, and no benefit adjustments pending. If you see any alerts or messages, read them carefully and respond immediately. Step 2 is to confirm your direct deposit details with your bank. Call your bank or visit a branch and ask them to verify that your account number on file matches the account number you provided to Service Canada. A single incorrect digit will cause your payment to fail. Ask your bank if they participate in early deposit posting for government benefits. This will tell you whether to expect funds on March 26th or March 27th. Step 3 is to review your most recent Notice of Assessment from the Canada Revenue Agency. This document shows your net income for the previous year and determines your eligibility for GIS and whether OAS clawback applies. If your Notice of Assessment shows income above the clawback threshold, or if you have not yet filed your 2025 tax return, take action immediately. File your return or consult a tax preparer. Step 4 is to mark March 27th on your calendar as a verification day. On that day, check your bank account by noon. If your CPP and OAS deposits are not visible by mid-afternoon on March 27th, call Service Canada at 1-800-277-9914. Wait times can exceed 1 hour, so call early in the morning. Have your social insurance number ready. Explain that your payment did not arrive and request immediate investigation. Service Canada can confirm whether the payment was issued, whether it was returned by your bank, and whether a manual check is being issued. Step 5 involves understanding the escalation process if your payment does not arrive. If Service Canada confirms the payment was issued but your bank shows no deposit, contact your bank immediately and request a trace on the government deposit. Provide the official payment date and the amount. Banks can track incoming electronic payments and determine if funds are held in error. If your bank confirms no payment was received, request written confirmation and provide this to Service Canada. If Service Canada determines the payment was sent to the wrong account due to their error, they will issue a replacement payment, but this can take 7 to 10 business days. Let us now address 5 common concerns through rapid-fire questions and answers. First question, what if my payment is late? If your payment does not arrive by end of business on March 27th, contact Service Canada immediately. Do not wait. Payments are rarely late without reason. Common causes include banking information errors, account holds due to unreported changes in circumstances, or identity verification requirements. Service Canada will investigate and provide a timeline for resolution. Second question, do banks delay deposits? Banks do not intentionally delay government deposits, but technical issues can occur. If your bank is experiencing system outages or processing errors, deposits may be delayed by 24 to 48 hours. Check your bank's website or social media for service alerts. If no alerts are posted, the delay is likely specific to your account, and you should contact your bank directly. Third question, can payments be split between accounts? Yes. You can request that Service Canada split your CPP and OAS payments between 2 different bank accounts. This requires completing a direct deposit form and specifying the percentage or fixed amount for each account. Some seniors use this feature to automatically allocate funds to a bill payment account and a savings account. However, split payments can increase the risk of processing errors, so ensure both accounts are active and verified. Fourth question, what if I changed banks recently? If you changed banks within the last 30 days, your March payment may still go to your old account. Service Canada requires up to 30 days to process direct deposit changes. If your old account is still open, the payment will deposit normally, and you can transfer the funds. If the old account is closed, the payment will be rejected and returned to Service Canada, which will issue a manual check. This check will be mailed to your address on file and could take 10 to 15 business days to arrive. Always maintain your old bank account for at least 60 days after updating direct deposit information to avoid payment disruptions. Fifth question, will March 2026 payments increase? CPP and OAS are indexed to inflation and adjusted every January. If you did not see an increase in January 2026, you will not see an increase in March. However, if you turned 65 between January and March, your OAS will begin in the month after your birthday. If you delayed CPP past age 65, your monthly amount increases by 0.7% for each month of delay. Check your My Service Canada account for personalized payment amounts. Do not assume your payment will arrive automatically. Verify your banking information today. Confirm your address is current. Check for correspondence from Service Canada. Review your tax filing status. Mark March 27th on your calendar and monitor your account that day. If funds do not appear, act immediately. Time is critical when payments are delayed. Every day without your CPP and OAS is a day your bills go unpaid and your financial security is at risk. Share this information with family members, neighbors, and friends who rely on these benefits. Many seniors do not have internet access or the ability to verify payment details independently. If you know someone who depends on CPP or OAS, help them confirm their March payment will arrive without issue. This is not just about money. This is about dignity, independence, and the financial stability of millions of Canadian seniors who contributed to this country and deserve reliable, timely payment of the benefits they earned. Do not wait. Verify now. Protect your March 2026 payment.